Welcome to Spiritual Battle 101. Here's how it all began. Quite a few people know Genesis chapter 1, verse 1. In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. This is a brief statement saying that God was the one who created all that is, all that we see, and all that we can't see. According to Job chapter 38, verses 4 through 7, all the angels were shouting for joy as God created the foundations of the earth. These verses tell us that God first created the place where He lives and all the spiritual beings that we read about in the Bible, including those messengers which we call angels. Next, God created the earth. The foundation of the earth mentioned in the book of Job is the celestial ball covered in water and darkness, which is found in Genesis chapter 1, verse 2. After 6 24-hour days, God has finished creating all that is. God calls His creation very good. An unknown amount of time passes between Genesis chapter 2 and Genesis chapter 3, but most likely it wasn't very long. In Genesis chapter 3, Satan appears to tempt Adam and Eve with the fruit on the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. Where did Satan come from? Did God create evil? No, He didn't. If God created evil, He wouldn't be a very loving God. And if evil was running around in His creation, then He couldn't truthfully say that His creation was very good. Ezekiel chapter 28, verses 11 through 17, and Revelation chapter 12, verses 1 through 12, teaches us that Satan used to be an angel. And just like God created us, He created angels with emotions and the ability to make their own choices. Satan became filled with pride and wanted to be like God. Other angels followed him, and the result was rebellion and sin. A war occurred in heaven, and 1/3 of the angels were cast out because of their sin and rebellion. Now their dwelling place is here on earth. Why live here? Why not somewhere else? God created people to have a relationship with Him, and Satan wants to destroy that. In Genesis chapter 1, verses 27 through 28, God commanded that people be the caretakers of the earth. When Adam and Eve chose to disobey God, sin entered the world. Because each of us is now born with a sin nature, evil can live around us and even in us. Job chapter 1, verses 6 and 7 says that Satan roams the earth. Jesus says in John chapter 10, verse 10, "The thief only comes to steal and kill and destroy. I have come that they may have life and have it to the full." So, if you're a follower of Christ, you need to read Ephesians chapter 6, verses 10 through 18, and get ready. If you're not a follower of Christ, it is my prayer that you would see that God is real, He loves you, and that He desires to have a relationship with you, both here on earth and for all eternity. I invite you to call our pastor at Meadowood Baptist Church at area code 405-737-7684 and ask him how you can receive God's free gift of forgiveness and eternal life.